Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Sheriff John Brown come for you?
The Good, the Bad, and the Guilty is recorded live with the men and women of law enforcement. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Now, here's your host, Iredell County Sheriff Darren Campbell.
Bad boys, bad boys.
Welcome, everybody, to
what
The
you
Good,
gonna
the Bad,
do?
and the Guilty. Hey, I apologize. I wasn't here last week, but I believe just Bill and whoever else handled it. Today, we don't have just Bill. I got half of a Bill and just
Matt.
Just Matt.
Yep.
So if you listen, I'm Darren Campbell, Sheriff here in Iredell. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to have I'll go ahead and introduce Brandon Gudgeon, and I actually said it right. So, Brandon, you've been here, I don't know as you've been on with us in a while.
No, I have never been on the show.
Have you not?
I have not.
Must have got you confused with Jared.
Yes, he's done it a few times. He's the better version of me.
I'm just kidding. Well, hey, we'll talk a little bit about you in a minute. Matt, I want to say, obviously, I know you've been here since I was last week. So thanks for filling in.
Yep.
And as always, please, everybody, watch us on Facebook. We're live on Facebook. We'll respond to the comments or best we can. We'll at least see them. You can listen to us on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, the X, whichever, and WSIC app. And as always, 100.7 or 105.9 on your FM dial. You can listen to us as you're driving. And hey, we look forward. We got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. A little bit about the cop units, the lake patrol, the population growth, sort of in general our South End operations. So with that, Matt Burleyson, I think we need to thank our sponsors.
Yes, we do. Absolutely.
Harrison does a great job.
Yep, we appreciate everything Harrison does for us, and they do for the community as well. They do for the farmers, the workers. They do for the ladies, the men. You can go down there and find pretty much anything you want on their shelves. I didn't realize that there were that many different boots when I went down there looking for some hiking boots. Which I'm not hiking, but they're cool to wear in the winter. They're cool to wear in the winter. They're waterproof. They're warm. I did not realize they were all the different shapes and colors and sizes and everything. Yes, so different brands.
Hey, belts, pocket knives, shoes.
Right. So if you're into the Ariat stuff, the Carhartt, they've got all those brands. The Hey Dudes on the wall. They've got the I always call them BOGOs, but they're those bags, those rubber bags. But anyway, they're great.
Well, if you can imagine it,
and
they
they've
probably
got
it.
Yes, and they've got some tactical stuff out back there now. So got the pants with the Velcro on them and the boots in the back.
But if you're looking for a good shopping experience, please go visit Harrison's. They are very supportive of our show, law enforcement in general, and the working people. And they got a lot of stuff. So great group of people. They do alterations, and a lot of things people didn't know about that. So they do a lot of cool stuff.
And embroidery.
And all the
you can't have this badge or this name belongs to me.
I don't know if anybody would want it. So Brandon, once again, thank you for joining us. And as you know, I always sort of give the rules. We could do it pre-show, but just so everybody knows, in about 5 minutes, we'll take our first break, and then we'll come back. And but let me tell you a little bit about you, or I will tell you a little bit about yourself. How's that to our people that's listening? So you grew up in Florence, Montana.
Yes.
Is that a high elevation?
I don't know I don't know where to say. Yeah.
Is that in the mountains?
No, it's like the southern, western part of Montana, in the Bitterroot Valley, between the Rocky and the Sapphire Mountains.
Okay, that might as well be Canada. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. But anyway,
is it cold there?
Yes.
Oh,
so
okay.
I mean, it was
Didn't
in
it-
1996. We had 10 feet of snow, and it was like 40 below zero.
Oh my gosh.
so like today, we got a little bit of wind, and I got my other watch. Don't tell me what the temperature is, but either way, so it'd be like cold.
It'd be cold, but even in the summer, like in June, it may be 80 in the valley, and you would still have snow on the peaks.
Really? Okay. But you come from a very diverse background, including fire service, EMS, and emergency response in general.
Yes.
You moved to North Carolina in 2013,
Correct.
and I'm going to get in a little bit why you come here. But your BLET Distinguished Honor Graduate in 2014 from Central Piedmont Community College in Huntersville. You worked for 3 years with the Mecklenburg County, was it Sheriff's Office?
No, I worked
Okay.
just in Mecklenburg County.
Just
down
in
there. Yep.
Mecklenburg. So you came here in the spring of 2017. You started in patrol. You moved back through the cops unit, which is our community-oriented policing, which is in South End. We'll explain a little bit about that here in a little bit. But and you've advanced through the ranks, and now you're currently a lieutenant. And you oversee the lake patrol, our cops unit, and our motorcycle unit.
Yes.
And you've been doing that since you served totally since 2018. So appreciate your advanced law enforcement certification in hazmat. and you do our rape aggression defense training, which we talk a lot about on the show. So obviously we want to give that a plug. And hey, we appreciate you being here today.
Thank you for having me.
So first, we'll just get right to it. Tell us a little bit about the cops unit, what it is and why it's down there. And
So the cops unit, it's essentially you've allowed us to be a support to patrol. I mean, we answer calls for service in a highly populated, highly dense area, not only with our residents, but we also have a lot of tourism down there with the Lake Norman. We have a lot of people coming up from Charlotte or other counties to work down in Mooresville, as well as it's growing like crazy.
well, let's get an example that everybody know. If we had to check, how many people come in to work at just the Lowe's, the big factory,
Oh
on
my
a daily
gosh,
basis?
we have Lowe's headquarters there. I couldn't
That's
tell
what
you
I'm
how
talking about,
many
Lowe's.
people work there. I know it's
6,000, I
Yeah.
think.
significant.
That's what we've
yeah.
heard about, 6,000.
Just one
person change.
building
Mhm.
bringing that many people in.
And if you've never been down there, which a lot of people don't get the chance to go there, it is something to see if you've never. I mean, don't show up and say the sheriff sent you, but I'm saying, but if you ever do have an opportunity, because it's hard to get in there, it's very
Yes.
hard, and it's different. I'll
It's
just
its
say
own
that.
little compound.
It's their own little compound.
yeah.
I
Mhm.
mean, it's amazing what I mean. When I was down, I think they even had like coffee shops.
They
and-
do.
coffee shops. And
You don't
stuff.
have to leave the campus.
Okay, Lowe's gonna get mad at us. We're not saying that. Everybody be showing up for coffee. Say, hey, it's down there on Langtree. So.
Yeah, so come down for a coffee shop.
So
Yep.
getting back to it, so a little bit about cops. You're right. The community the community oriented policing, which we do that countywide. We really
Yes.
do. But in Mooresville, the population density was so bad that we sort of got a standalone to help with response times.
Correct.
And if you're asking, and this is something really wasn't going to get into, but just to put it in comparison, a lot of our police departments they staff at about a 2.5 to over even 4 officers per thousand. Okay. We try to keep our overall here in Iredell County. Well, I'd love to go more, but we have to be good stewards of the taxpayer dollars. And y'all are doing, first of all, everybody that's listening is doing a great job because the crime rate's down unbelievably. But we're staffing at a 1 per thousand ratio, lowest in the county. But the cops unit, now listen, the cops unit with the population amount are 1 in 9,200.
Yeah, that's 1 in 9,200 for just the residents
Just the
in the
rest.
county, not including within the city limits.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the question. They say, well, yeah, damn, but you don't need that because you don't serve. Yeah, we still do writs. We still do concealed carries. We still do have to do the domestic violence order. We still have to house bad people in a jail. We have to do executions. I may have already said it. All the civil work. So you still do, but you're not even including that number. That
Correct.
is just the people we respond to. One deputy per every 9,200, and that's conservative number because I know it's like I don't have my paperwork, but I think it's around 9,240, something like
Yeah,
that.
that's with all of our deputies, including myself, like
Down in the
working down
southern
there,
part of
yes.
the county.
yep,
So,
and not including all the Airbnb people that we get, all the companies, everything else.
and we'll sort of skip over a little bit of the crime trends. We'll come back to them, and well, I don't want to get too much into it because we only got about 50 seconds to our first break. But with that being said, obviously our budget time's coming up, and this is, it's tough. You want to be good stewards, which I think we have because we staff so low. We tried to recruit the best officers, and now our crime rates are down 56% with the growth. We're doing our job, but as we get ready through our budget process, going to our commissioners, obviously there's elections coming, and that don't make no here nor there about what we got to do to make sure our citizens are safe. But that is something we're really going to have to concentrate on is the staffing levels in Mooresville.
Yeah, and you've done a great job. I mean, just those numbers alone speak to the testament of you've always said you pay top tier salary, you're going to get top tier employees.
Yep.
And the fact that you've done what you have and reduced the crime to the extent that you have.
Hey, and y'all have done it. Hey, I just put you there, and y'all have done a great job. And so, hey, listen, Brandon, we'll come back in just a second. Y'all tune in. Please let somebody know. Comment on Facebook. And we'll be back.
All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Welcome back here to the beautiful Purple Heart Homes on the wonderful Good, the Bad, and the Guilty with our gracious host, Sheriff Darren Campbell. Is that a way to bring it back in?
No, that don't.
And thanks to
impress me.
Harrison's too.
No, that don't help me. So whatever.
And we're here with Lieutenant Brandon Gudgeon.
I don't even know what to say after that, Matt. No, we're gonna have to get you, we're gonna have to
I'll
get
do
you
better
a-
next
we're gonna
time.
Get you a evaluation done or something.
Mhm.
Hey, obviously y'all can follow us, listen to us 100.7, 105.9 on your FM, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, X, WSIC app,
Mhm.
and obviously the comments. We've got a few, and one of your fellow deputies, Mr. Chad Lale, is saying you're rocking it, Brandon. Just to let you know, and got several watching it, and I think we had a little bit of mess up with our video feed, but I think it's working now. And somebody that I don't know, Udi Wooten, body cancer from law enforcement in Iredell. Hey, I agree with you 110%. Got over $1 million. I don't know exactly what that means, but Matt, unless you got
I don't know.
I don't know.
Uh,
So,
Right
but
check.
you know, a little bit about there is a lot more than we just openly advertise that we do have that we're equipped with. So
There's a lot of ways that you find to use funds to save the taxpayers' money. Those funds that are.
and there again, I still go believe word. You know, officers held to a higher standard. Your word has to be your word, and it is so. But hey, getting back a little bit, Brandon, we'll move on. Tell us a little bit. Now, you were speaking before we took our break. I was going to skip some of the crime trends. Just we'll come back to it.
Okay.
But your population growth. I mean, you've been here since 2018, and I know. Listen, I was here 4 years before. Well, been here for a long time, so I've really seen it grow. But how much of growth have you seen as far as responding to calls and
Oh, it's significant. I mean, I've lived in Mooresville for almost 13 years now, and I believe from like 2010 to 2020, it grew like 53% in Mooresville alone. And even after all that, after I started here in 2018, I would say from 2020 to 2022, it's blown up over 30% in just those 2 years. And not
And
only
what do you
that,
think's driving? I mean, obviously we got safe counts. That's something we can talk.
it's,
We do
it's
have
a great
safe-
place to live.
and it's close
Honestly,
to.
I mean,
Charlotte,
Iredell
believe it or
is a
not.
great place to live. It's close to Charlotte. It's close to the big hub with the financial hub and everything else that they have down there. And then they're just running out of room.
Yeah, there's businesses here. The taxes are better. The schools are great from what we have resource officers in all the schools.
Yeah.
And so and I don't think you explained that whole geographical area. I mean, if you look on the map,
Yes.
basically it's just south of Troutman. When you start to see the population density,
Yes.
the housing, all of that is the cops area.
Correct.
Wow. Okay.
And I think the biggest thing is the reason we do have sort of community policing, different divisions within the West. I mean, we all work together. Response time from Turnersburg to Union Grove is a lot different than response time from Cottle Creek to Mayhew or wherever. Brawley School Road, we'll use that as an example. Is getting across. So we have to space our officers a little bit closer for population density. That increases, that maintains your response times, because nobody wants to be 30 minutes if you're getting your house broke into.
Right.
And I want to give hats off to Mooresville Police Department, those down there, and the Highway Patrol that works well with us. You don't think it, we don't hear a lot about it. We work very well together when we need each other. And I know that sometimes people don't understand that, but we do. So I want to throw them a little
Yeah,
bone
those
there.
partnerships are paramount, especially with the deputies on the streets, because they very well may be my closest backup. And not just that, with talking about the population, but also the road construction. If anyone has been down in Mooresville lately, the road construction is
Right.
Okay,
horrible.
I'm not getting in the growth thing, but I will say this. If you build homes and continuously build homes, they will come.
Yeah, you're gonna need
will.
roads.
And I
yeah.
understand there's a market for it. I understand it's a very desirable place to live. I understand you got close access, interstate, restaurants, a little bit of nightlife. But that still don't help the people that live there and drive on the roads. And a lot of the growth got ahead of the roads.
Yes.
Which
Oh,
should
yeah.
have been, I'll give you a perfect example where I feel it's different. It's Cary, North Carolina. If you go, they've already got it set up for growth, but they ain't got the growth everywhere yet.
Right.
But there again, I'm not in those city council positions to have the knowledge to talk about that a lot. But I will say this: we just come back the other week from the church down that does their annual barbecue,
Oh yeah.
and I'm like, out in the middle of what was a cow pasture last year's a McDonald's.
Right.
Yeah. And then those high-rise apartments are right there too. And the further you go out towards the lake or towards the industry like Lowe's and play, you see more and more of these multi-level apartment homes. So instead of one rooftop, you've got a lot of doors, got a lot of people there.
And we do have crime. I hate to say it, but everybody comes here does every now and then commit crime. Not all of them, but I mean we do have to cover that. And we have to see those trends way before, and that's the reason we sort of was good. We worked our way up, and we've seen like our investing in the narcotics division because we know it drives a lot of the other drugs. But Lake Patrol, which you ever see some of those guys as well. In fact, the unit. And we'll talk a little bit about the Lake Patrol and how the General Assembly has helped us get ahead, stepped up, with boats and ROVs. And, it's been unbelievable, the growth just on the lake.
Yes, we are the only lake unit out there 365 days, period. Like, people are amazed. Every time I'll run into somebody, and they'll ask me about, well, why is their uniform a little bit different? And we'll explain the different roles and that they're on the Lake Patrol. And they're like, it's the middle of winter. It's 30 degrees out there. I'm like, yeah, they're out there. They're working the vessel.
And, you wouldn't think y'all had a huge light. I think there was a Christmas light thing on the lake Saturday night. And everybody knows it's cold.
Yeah.
But then there's another large event with a lot of professional people that was at an event. So you do the Lake Patrol, you do the Christmas lights on the lakes, then you turn right around and come over and do that. And actually, I seen you. And actually, if I had my option, just for the record, for next year, I need to jump on the boat and ride to the dock and get off versus trying to drive and park.
Now, you can do that with these vessels that you got, because we've got that drop-down bow. We can put you right on the,
And
right there on the dock.
two
And
chances
there's-
with y'all to drop or somebody hit reverse. Nope.
Can I drive?
Nope. No, you got
And you've got the heaters on the boats and
Well, no, this one
the
didn't.
one boat.
This
Okay.
one didn't. They made sure they told me the other night when that, just for the record, I could see when Andy put on about the 5 S's and I could tell his hands was cold. They didn't have the one with the heat on it because they was doing something else.
And I'll tell you, those guys, they work hard year round. They're not just out there doing parades and stuff right now. They're also out there answering calls for service. If there's, it doesn't matter what it is, a fraud, a domestic,
Yeah.
if they can get there by a dock, they'll get there by a dock. Also, the fishing tournaments, they're still going. There was one this last weekend.
There's
They're
more
out
of
there.
those because of the less of the pleasure boaters. The fishermen can come
Oh,
out
and
there.
because of the catfish, I'm all about it. I just couldn't say what it is. I've seen them.
They're out there before most people are awake working
Right.
that lake.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's another thing, sort of got a little bit a lot. Well, the Lake Patrol and us working, and then you got the, the emergency situation with your drownings and your boat collisions, where we do a lot of the crime scene for wildlife. We work close with wildlife. We work a lot with our volunteer fire departments. I hate to say which ones because I forget, but all of them.
All of them.
And then Mooresville Fire is a good
Huge.
partnership with us. We really do have it lucky here, and we work a lot with. We've got McGuire that's just down below us. We got Mecklenburg. And a lot of people may not understand that there's 4 counties that touch the lake: Lincoln, Catawba, Mecklenburg, and us. But we have over half,
270 miles. of shoreline.
270 miles of shoreline. Now, obviously, that's a lot of little coves and things, but still, everywhere there's a piece of property, there's a house on it.
Yeah, there's a
anyway, so
house in.
We
in
also
Iredell.
have Lake Lookout Shoals with
Lake
27
Lookout
miles.
and all of Catawba River up to Lookout Shoals Dam.
Yep.
So that's something to think about too. And we've really tried to invest in our Lake Patrol. But the cool thing about that is our remotely operated vehicles, which we do for. You'd hate to say it, but drowning victims or underwater crimes, we do have the need for that sometimes, and we got that, and a Lake Patrol boat through the General Assembly, and that's helped offset our cost.
We just acquired those ROVs, and I will say this last summer, there were 2 different drownings that we had that we were able to recover both of those victims within, I believe it was less than 3 hours, working with our partners like Mooresville Fire and everybody else. But
Without having
we,
to put a
we haven't
dive in
had
the
that
water.
capability until you were able to say, hey,
Well,
this
it's
is a
not only
need.
recovery, which is neat, but it's also the location because they are in the water right away, deployed, and then using the sonar, the camera, whatever it may be. You're
Correct.
able
Ours,
to find.
we can work off the shore, off the vessels, wherever
And we got to
need
give
be.
credit where credit's due. That was, I know the house and everybody, but that was Vicky Sawyer's Senate area. Vicky helped us in Gray Mills, which no longer is in the house. Now it's Todd Carver, and we got to make sure we keep Todd trained up. I'm just kidding. He'd be in trouble. But we've had good luck with our General Assembly members. And there again, we are very conservative on our spending. I understand those are taxpayer dollars. It may not be ours here. It may be across the state. But we truly have to have show why we need that. And how many people, Brandon, would you say just visit the lake? And it's probably a question, but I know how many registered boaters there are that's registered on the lake. But how many
I
visitors?
can't imagine. I mean, just the Airbnbs alone bring in a significant number, but then you have all the people that just come for a day visit. I can't tell you how many times we'll be doing a boater safety check at one of like Hager's Creek or somewhere else. And we have people driving from Greensboro, Winston-Salem, all over South Carolina just for the day, just to come up for a few hours to spend on the water. I couldn't give you a number off the top of my head, but it's significant. The volume of traffic on the lake has just exploded.
And the people that's coming to it. I mean, one of the things that you see is these boat ramps are increasing with trucks and trailers and those things. You can just see those, but that's a lot of the fishermen too. think about every boat that's tied to a dock somewhere, a residence,
Correct.
or what you just said, the rentals that come down from across the state. They get a boat with the house when they rent it a lot of times, and they're on the water with it.
And it's not just our lake access points either. It's the entire lake. You know, they can
Oh,
put
right.
in a
Rankin,
Catawba or
Charlotte.
anywhere else. So
Yep.
it's not just ours that are full. Theirs are full as well.
You know, in the last little 30 seconds or minute and 30, I will say this. You know, we're one of the only agencies that does not have a place to dock our boats on the lake.
Yes.
Over half the lake we cover. We do use a marina that's absolutely great to us. They look
Yeah,
out,
been
but we have
fantastic.
nowhere. If we had a massive Hurricane Helena to do true operation store a boat, we have nowhere. So we're working with Duke Power. I hope they listen to the show. I think they're going to help us on a little bit of property in the deeper part of the lake, in the middle of the lake, where we could run a total command unit if something bad happened on that lake. And I think that's something your guys have took upon their shoulders
They
themselves
have.
to work on.
Yeah. Yeah. My guys, I mean, you give them something and ask them to run with it, and they jump right on it. And they've been really great about trying to make sure that we are the top tier agency on the lake. So we've acquired the people,
No
we've
pun
acquired the
intended, but it
vessels, we've acquired everything else, and now this is the next step that we're looking at taking as well. So
And the big thing,
know
we
about
won't
that.
try any alternative methods we have for funding. And we know it's expensive. Listen, I know that. But I also understand that if you're there and you're traveling and your husband or wife's at home or children's at home by themselves, I want to make sure that we can get a deputy there by water, by vehicle, whatever fast we can. And that's our duty to the citizens. So, Matthew, we got about 15 seconds. You want to take us out and tell us we'll come back in? Or?
I want to talk about my time on the lake. I got to be on the old boats before. I never got on the new boats. So maybe I can come down and ride a little bit.
I still have the O-Bolt. I'll get out.
Okay, we'll be back in about 2.5 minutes. Y'all send us a Facebook message. We'll be here and look at them. Welcome back to the good, the bad, and the guilty. Matt, I'm not letting you bring us back in again. But with that being said, hey, go send us a comment on Facebook. Listen to us on 100.7, 105.9 FM if you're driving. LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, X, and the WSIC app. So thanks again, Harrison's our sponsor of our show. We really, really appreciate it. Brandon, you're almost halfway through, and I know you've never had fun like this before, but we do appreciate you. We appreciate you joining us. So, Matt, you had some questions or some.
Well, I mean,
now that we're back,
in our break, that's what we're saying is we have so much comments in the break. We go back and forth, but we were talking about some of the community events, specifically homeowners associations, community watch. We separate the schools because they have a lot of stuff down there too. But tell us about some of the community events where you and many of your officers engage with these folks. I know there's
and this is above and beyond stuff. I mean, you go and visit these people.
Correct. Yeah, this is on top of answering calls for service. All of my guys and gals, they work a zone. But on top of that, we average about 200 events a year. And that goes from everything like Matt was saying, from HOA meetings to community events to church events. We'll go to birthday parties. We'll go anything that we can to get involved in the community. I know that we just finished talking about the Lake Patrol. I'm sure everybody's seen that post with Santa on the boat and
Not
Betsy
if you're not a
dressed as a
follower of the
little,
Iredell County Sheriff's
little
Office Facebook.
Well, they
So
should
if
be.
you are and you're not, there you go.
There you
They
go.
should be.
Yep.
That's where you're going to get the best information. But we do a lot of those things. We go to events down at Mooresville, like downtown Mooresville. We're very well engaged with our partners, like you said, with Mooresville and everybody else. We try to make sure that we are there showing our presence because we owe that to the citizens and the
Let
sheriff.
me ask you this: if I was just a citizen listening to this, why do you do all that? Why, in addition to answer calls, your job, why do you go to explain things to the HOA and build
Because
those relationships?
I live in the community. I live down there. and-
Okay, that's great, but that as well, you're a community member, but
Right.
why?
To build that relationship, to build that trust. And I can honestly tell you, there are multiple times where I have had somebody call me personally to report something that they probably wouldn't have reported
Had they not
otherwise
known you.
because they have that personal connection. It's not just dialing 911 or a non-emergency number. They're saying, hey, I know Brandon. I can call him and talk to him and let him know what's going on and how it affects me.
And you see, you're letting our secret out, which we've said even when I was running 10, 12 years ago, whatever, I always said friends talk to friends. So you go to these HOA and you give me a card. Hey, here's my cell phone. Now I tell everybody, and everybody that's listening now know what I'm going to say. But I'll give you my number. I said, but now listen, if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, you better call 911. I'm not sure I'll hear it, but I will call you back later. But that friendship, that friend-to-friend communication means a lot more because you're right. Because a lot of times people, and I encourage you not to be this way, but they may not want to call our communications line. They don't want to bother them. So, but us, we can educate them about the porch pirates, and we'll get into it in a little bit. We can talk about scams. We can talk about what we're seeing. If it's anything from people driving up and down the road late at night, we get that information, and they trust us to call us. So that's a great point.
When I've talked to them about community watch, and I know you do it as well, we actually explain to them, this is the county. This is how far it is. Cut it in a couple of chunks. You have an officer here, an officer here, an officer here. And obviously they're supplemented by the civil division or the detectives and the other ones are working. But we explain to them that, response times, this is how response times work. So it takes a little longer to get from here to here. So that's why we have more in the cops area.
Right.
We have more down here to be able to do that. But also keep an eye on your neighbors.
Right.
You may be the eyes and ears for law enforcement, and they're only going to trust you when they see you face to face.
Right. And we talked about the population and the traffic and everything else, but they're also reducing speed limits. They're adding more stop signs. All of these things, stoplights, they add time. And so I can't be everywhere at once, but the community can.
Right.
And so when you build those relationships, and my guys and gals, they do a fantastic job. Even talking about schools, you said that every school is an SRO. We have 9 county schools in the cop zones, plus 2 private schools, and they're looking at building a third one. That's they did at the old Mount Moore school that's going to open.
Yep.
So we have all of that on top of it. Like, for example, we've gone to multiple events along with the SROs this week alone. I've got another one tomorrow that we're going to hit. It's all of those things that we do in addition to be a part of our community. We don't want to just serve our community. We want to be part of it.
You tell me one thing that we've got that I know any of the other 3 counties that service that lake does not have, unless they've started. But the Lake Watch program.
Yes.
Explain the Lake Watch program. And it goes back to your neighbor can watch out for you. And we started that 10 years ago, building up a database.
So we've talked about some of the assets that we have and stuff down in the COPS unit and the Lake Patrol. But we're out there 365 days a year, not just on the water, but our Lake Patrol will get in their vehicles, go door to door, and provide the information saying, hey, this is what we have. This is what you need to look out for. If you have any questions, if you see anything, let us know. Not only will they get out there in their vehicles, but a lot of times we have bicycles as well, and they'll get out there and they'll ride for miles, making sure that they're making contact, not just to get out there and ride, but it's also if you see somebody in a car driving down the road, they're not very approachable. But if you see a deputy out there on a bike and you're walking down the sidewalk, you might, hey, how's it going?
Yep.
And then that deputy is going to stop and engage with that person. And again, it goes back to building those relationships and saying, hey, we are out here. We're out here for you. This is what we have. What do you need?
And you know, the Lake Watch is great because we built up the database where, you know, we can send out, we can put a Facebook, everybody in the world can see it if they look at it. But if it's something that's very specific, driven to one community in Mooresville, we can set up an email distribution list. Listen, if you see this small red car, we seen them going through mailbox, whatever. I mean, there's a lot of things that may not make the county-wide or state newspaper where we can focus eyes on that particular area. And that's one of the best things. And we've encouraged them to have numbers on their dock because a lot of times we can respond faster by water because we're out there 365, 24/7, and beat or take freezing weather at night at 3 in the morning. I understand that.
We have it here on one boat.
There you go. We're down on one boat. But you can simply see exactly GPS where there's, and we can respond by water a lot faster.
We can.
Yeah, having those addresses up there, and I tell this to community members as well in the neighborhood, it may not help you, it may help your neighbor because they didn't mark their dock or they didn't mark their address. If it's on your address, then it could be a medical emergency. I mean, there's times that sometimes we respond to those, get there quicker than those. So a medical emergency, a fire, some of the largest fires have been from that. You know, you guys use that Lake Patrol and those boats to do perimeters, security, you know, being able to help out with the big major scenes.
Yeah, there was a significant fire not that long ago on the water, and they had fire boats out there. And the amount of volume of water that those things can take in order to pump out is huge. And so when you have somebody that might be swimming by or on a kayak or something, it creates a draft and it will pull them in. And so we will go out there just to provide a perimeter to keep everybody safe. Again, it goes back to working those partnerships and making sure that we can help them, they can help us. The main goal is providing the best service that we can to our community.
You need sort of getting in the partnership, sort of gets a little bit off what we're speaking of, but that you may not think it's important to say. We've got our Lake Patrol, obviously the big boat with the bow that we can lower
Our
patient
safe
on if we
boat,
need
yes.
to. But if you did have somebody that was in a horrific accident and we had to take Mooresville Fire or any first responders to an island or to a boat crash, whatever, they know exactly through training and y'all's relationships how wide it is, how they're going to load the patient.
Yes.
You know, what capability can you charge an AD? Do we have? Well, obviously we wouldn't have to charge it, but we've got a generator on those boats. We've actually got climate control on one of the bigger boats. So those pre-planned arrangements before something happened is very, very, very important that y'all have took upon yourself to do.
Yeah. And thanks to you and Vicky Sawyer and everybody else, because we've acquired those assets, we have one of the quickest response times because we're on the water, but also because of the equipment that we have. And not too long ago, there was a medical call on a pontoon boat. They were up towards the state park, and they had a while till they got back to the dock. And we put fire personnel on our vessel, and we're able to get to them quickly because of our
Meet them
assets.
as they're coming south. You was able to meet them.
Yes.
People don't think a lot of that, and you know the fire personnel has been great to train with, and they've taught us a lot, and we've helped them, especially because if we do have, heaven forbid, we do have a drowning incident, and there again we do have them, but to understand what's going to happen prior to we start, and now that we've got the ROVs for recovery efforts, and or if you have to use the torpedo, which is basically I use the word and basically it's a sonar that can see a lot better than anything else. So, but the point of all that is that we built those relationships to give the best service we can to the citizens if there was an emergency.
And I'll tell you, my guys, they do a fantastic job. They could walk into a gas station, a restaurant, anybody down there, and they're going to walk in and they're going to be able to know somebody by name. And that's just a testament to how they're out there patrolling their communities and getting involved.
Like, that's my officer. I know that guy. He's in my
Y'all
neighborhood.
don't know this, and I know we got about 30 seconds, but You wouldn't believe how many pictures I get of y'all, the lake patrol, or y'all, the restaurant, or hey, thanks for you guys coming by. And obviously, for me, it's beneficial being in the job I'm in. It's good for you to have good relationships with our citizens. And so, Matthew, we got about 20 seconds.
Yes.
We'll come back for our last segment.
Mhm.
Brandon, we
Really?
might
Is it
let you
already
bring us
the end?
back in.
Wow. Yes.
I might not
Yes,
have
he
a
can
job
do
after
that.
that.
Oh, you'll do fine.
You could have my job if you do
It's
it
not
well.
that hard. Okay, we'll be back in about 2.5 minutes. Thanks. Think of some comments. If you want to hit us on the last segment of the show, we'll be glad to look at them and try to respond to them.
If you guys have been with us the whole time or you're just now joining us, welcome back to The Good, the Bad, and the Guilty, here with Sheriff Darren Campbell and Captain Matt Burleyson. I'm Lieutenant Gudgeon as of now. We'll see how it goes for the next
After the show.
little segment here.
You are doing, that's really good. You have got a face made for radio.
I think you're coming back.
Only a
Yeah,
face
you'll
of
be
mother
back.
can
No,
love.
actually, you have been. I mean, we do have a lot of good. It's not hard in here. A lot of people, when I asked them, they're sort of nervous, but we just
Were you sort of nervous?
try to talk back
Yeah.
and forth.
Yeah, because you told me you have missed this show
I've
for
avoided
8 years. Well, I wasn't going to say avoided it because that means.
Yeah, avoided it.
Yeah, he did say that when I asked him, hey,
I'll
you want to
throw
be on the
myself
radio?
under the bus.
I really would have bet that I thought you had been here before. Well,
Yeah, I think you're doing a fine job, doing great. Yep. So during the break, one of the things that we brought up, this interagency working together, Lake Norman
Yes.
is that whole area and around any type of nuclear site, if you will. There's FEMA, there's Duke Energy, there's a lot of special things that your unit has to go through.
Right. So we've got the steam plant down there, and we've also got the McGuire Nuclear Station down off 73 and on the other side of Huntersville. And one of our requirements is that we get tested by FEMA with a multi-agency. Like we do a whole action plan, live test, interactive with
Right.
on the water and on the road, where we'll all meet together. They'll give us a scenario. It changes every time. We don't know what it's going to be every
Mhm.
2 years. And we'll go out there and we'll say, hey, this is what happened. We had a
Right.
leak. It got this far.
Mhm.
This is the wind direction.
I
Go.
remember there's an event occurring on the lake.
Yes.
You need to evacuate, you know.
Yeah. So there's
Do y'all
multiple
still do
parts.
This, just me. Do y'all still do the siren? Used to we get a lot of calls. Do we still do the siren alerts?
I haven't heard it in a long
We
Yeah.
haven't
time.
done it in years.
I haven't heard it
I
in a
hadn't
long
either.
time.
You had
Okay.
the big testing.
Yep. So
But that's very unique to that area of the
Yes.
county, and imagine the traffic that would be involved in the evacuation. So obviously the city would dump out,
right.
but then once they come into the county,
Well, they're actually starting in the county, going into the city, and then back out, because all that area, most of it within the
See,
immediate
Matt, that's
area,
why he's a trained expert.
that's right, exactly.
is in the county down in Bry
Mhm.
School.
Mhm.
And so our lake patrol, they'll be on 2 of our vessels. They'll have a FEMA evaluator out there with them.
Mhm.
They'll go through the process. Our road cops unit, they'll be down. We change facilities. It's last couple times it's actually been down at Duke, and we've had it there. And so they'll go. They'll do the road part. They'll be asked questions. They'll be tested by FEMA.
Mhm.
And then in addition to that, I have to go to the command staff, where I'm in a room with all the other individuals throughout the different agencies, and kind of overseeing everything and making sure that we have the right resources and getting them where they need to be. And we have those relationships,
Mhm.
and we're making sure that everything's running smoothly. So if an event did occur, we can make sure that we're providing the appropriate response.
Well, I did hear one thing you said. You said just south of, or near Huntersville. Well, yes, obviously Huntersville's not in Iredell, but the water
Correct.
is.
The water
and,
is.
And the response, you said Brawley School Road. That's one of the things we really worry about. We was talking about Duke Power and having a place to our command unit. If we was to go use that mobile command unit, be able to run everything from a location, would probably be that way. But Brawley School Road is one way in and one way out,
Just
all the way
about 10
back up
miles.
to 1109, which is Williamson Road.
Mhm.
And that's a. How many people would you just guess live?
Ooh, if I had to guess, easily 20,000 or more.
I'll say yeah. They
Mhm.
just live down one way in, one way out.
Right. All those roads that go out through there, and all the neighborhoods that continue. That's where a lot of the schools are also, centralized and growing.
Out of those 9 schools we have in the cops area, 4 are on Brawley School.
A lot of people don't think of that. It's as easy just build. It's not just build a bridge to 77 to get off, because you got the lake. You're surrounded by a lake off of that. Which was the old McNeck, and anybody that's been around a long time knows what McNeck was.
Mhm.
So, all right, Matthew.
Yes. So we'll talk about some of our events and stuff that we've got going on, other things that's happened. Obviously, keep us in mind on Facebook. Come check us out, see all the things that we have going on there. Santa was on your boat. We got that already.
was.
Yep. So I know last week we added a new K9 to our patrol division, and that was K9 Inyo. And what was that? Was that a Swedish name or whatever?
Belgian. It's a
Okay.
Belgian Malinois.
Yes, a Belgian Malinois.
I don't know.
But I knew the name was some.
I know
They
that.
they name them different. Anyway, I heard that. So Inyo with Deputy Jacob Barrier, they're going to be joining one of the patrol units, and I know this is an opportunity to continue to grow that K9 unit like we've got in the schools with the 5-6 dogs are in schools now. So those continue to grow. You're a boater safety instructor, right? Yeah.
That hazmat, general instructor, and rad.
Okay. All right. Yes. So you're not a hunter safety instructor.
No,
We need
sir.
to make sure you get that done next time. So hunter education
You
class.
sound like you got roped into something else.
It's fine.
One more thing. So you've done good. Yeah. So we've been offering the hunter education classes, and many times the instructors. That's why another instructor in the South are school resource officers from the north end of the county. So they've been at North Middle, North High. But we're going to offer one with one of our school resource officers down here at Lakeshore Middle School, Mark Calabrese. So we're going to have 2 hunter education courses. So if you look on our Facebook, look on our app, you'll be able to use the QR code there. You can register on Monday, December 22nd for North Iredell High School, or Tuesday, December 23rd at Lakeshore Middle School. You don't have to attend them both, but this is a free course, 6 hours. you're required to have this hunter education course at any age if you've not had a prior license here. And I knew that. I helped out a gentleman had moved here, and he's hunted all his life, but he's never had a hunter education class. And I got Travis to get him in. I mean, he was probably 70 years old, and so he had to take this. So, but I mean, it's good because it teaches you a lot of safety things, know your target and beyond, a lot of conservation, environmental type things. We're not teaching anyone to hunt. We're giving them the information they need to be safe, responsible hunters.
Well, I like the way you timed it. The 22nd, 23rd, right before Christmas, all our future hunters gifts.
Yes, exactly right. So. Yep. So, because it was actually one of the officers volunteered to teach in February. I'm like, no, these little kids has got gifts and stuff for Christmas, and so Dad or Mom, if you've got your son or daughter a hunting rifle, then make sure you get the hunter education course.
And I will say this is good because both of my boys have been through it. And, when Lawson's still, hey, you do this, you got to do that. And, he is dead set. He's going to wear his orange.
Right.
And, which is good. And he has to. But it's just, they learn a lot.
Yeah. And these are the first 2 days that school's out. So the last day of school in Iredell County for most schools is the 19th, that Friday. So this is Monday and Tuesday when schools are out. So your child can be there 8 to 3. Again, we provide everything. It is a free course, and you'll be certified that day.
That's good.
To go hunting. All right, so we have one arrest that we published, and that was 2 counts of felony statutory sex offense with a child by an adult, 2 counts of felony indecent liberties with a child. Pedro Aguirre Jr., 28 years old, of Statesville, North Carolina, had assaulted a juvenile over the years of 2017 to 2018. And this was handled by our Special Victims Unit, and he has been incarcerated at the Iredell County Detention Center under a $500,000 secure bond.
And I believe thanks to Judge Hedrick.
Yes, Judge Hedrick.
Make sure which judge did it. So.
Yep, that is District Court Judge E. Hedrick. So thank you, sir. All right. So
we got one. Well, I want to make sure we hit. Go ahead.
These are just the safety tips.
Well, okay, great, perfect. And our pre-show planning, we're geared. Hey, Brandon, we got about 3 minutes, and I did want to make sure what kind of things. I know everybody's shopping online. We have a lot of deliveries.
Yes.
I know that's one of the things. So address that, how people protect themselves, and what we call them is porch pirates. But basically, they're Matt, don't do what Matt said and set a box, an explosive device, and blow up when they grab it. We're not going to do that.
Oh,
tell us what you got.
Well, if we can't do that, so like you mentioned earlier, is building those relationships with your neighbors and stuff down there. Having a neighbor that if you know you're not going to be home and you have a delivery coming, ask your neighbor, hey, can you pull this package in? Checking your mail every night. A lot of people during these times or during tax season and everything else, they're going through mail looking for checks or social security numbers or anything like that, making sure that you're
gift
checking.
Cards.
Yes, gift cards, anything that's easy access. So checking your mailbox, pulling those packages off, have them shipped to one of the little locker boxes there at like the QT or somewhere else through Amazon if that's how you're ordering it. Having them pick it up at the store.
I told you that the other day about camping. And you were
Yes,
excited
I was
about.
like,
He didn't know Amazon has locker boxes at convenience stores and other places.
I'm gonna be right there because I had no idea until you just said we don't have We don't have that kind of stuff up where I'm from.
Oh yes, you do. They're all so like when I go camping, right, and I need to order something from Amazon, and it knows my location, it will show me the closest locker.
First, if you're camping, you don't need your phone. You're supposed to be out in the wild. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, we got big campers, so a couple of TVs, a couple outdoor kitchens.
Not a tent, huh? Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, just making sure that you're following that. And if you get a phone call, from anybody saying, "Hey, we're following up," don't give them any information.
Yeah, don't please don't. Yes, you're right.
If you have a question, no matter what it is, hang up, call us.
And is that prevalent? Do we see people? I mean, when you
Yes.
so it is prevalent. They
Yes.
stop on the side road. They can see from the road something sitting on your porch.
Yes.
And they can also follow an Amazon man around for just a little bit,
Correct.
and they'll see.
We have. There's a lot of video down there, and we've seen that on video where it will be delivered. 5 minutes later, a car falling behind it, it's picked up.
And I tell you, if they do that, if they got home cameras, if they let us know, watch your videos. If that happens, watch out for your neighbors. Anything like that, and then obviously us arrest them, put them on social media, we'll make a believer out of them and not to come back here. So, and most of these, even your drivers, are not even from here.
Yep.
Lock your cars. Lock your doors.
Yes.
Yep.
So Matt, before I forget, I'm not going back to this. You said Campbell, but did you say convenience stores? You can actually order something to a convenience store and have it locked up. Is that sort of what you were saying?
Yes, lockers on the side of the building.
Okay.
There's Amazon lockers. When you get there, you just use your phone, locker door open.
So if you didn't want to have it come to work, you could have it delivered
Exactly
there, pick it
right.
on the way from work.
Yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Safe
That's
place.
another way to keep your kids from seeing what you got, if anything. I'm not getting mine nothing this year, so that's what I've told every one of them.
Yeah, Santa Claus can use those for deliveries.
Y'all have a great week. We will see you back here next Wednesday at the same time, 3 o'clock. Please join us, and we appreciate you listening.